Sergeant John Nelson of the Army.
Let's put it this way, I don't know too much about the fighting, except I spent 20 months overseas. But I could, how much do you want? 2 or 3 days or 2 minutes? Guys, get ready.
Whatever. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Myself, I was born in New York, in Manhattan, one of the glorious spots in America. Anybody that was born in Manhattan has got a leg up on everything.
And that was about 50 years ago?
I wish. Closer to 89.
89.
And a half.
All right.
Pushing 90. Who was that? It just had a 90th birthday yesterday. I can't remember.
That was you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it was Sam, the other Sam.
Sam Kelvin.
So it was a good day in Manhattan when you were born close to 90 years ago.
Up at Women's Hospital. It's still there. Only it's now part of St. Luke's. But we don't want that. You want me to move forward to the war?
Yes.
Because I can give you that whole thing, too.
So we're talking about which war? At what time?
Oh, man. Can you imagine that? She thinks we might
World
be
War
in the
II.
Vietnamese War. No, World War II.
I thought it was the Korean War. I thought it was really.
Some people here were in the Korean War.
So how old were you when how did you find out that you were going to be serving?
Uncle Sam sent you a letter. He says, your draft board wants you. And when your draft board wanted you, went down. The next thing you know, you're on a train. I skip a lot of things, and you go to Texas. Texas was just like the movies. Tom Mix was running around down there. You don't know Tom Mix or Hoot Gibson. You remember those guys?
Yeah, I remember them well.
Well,
You remember Tom Mix?
I remember Tom Mix.
Of course, we had a Tom Mix cement was the old joke. But anyhow, Tom Mix used to ride his horse. And when you went down to Texas, you went into a place called Camp Hood. There was other camps down there.
Which one?
Camp Hood.
Camp Hood, Texas.
Right.
Yeah,
Now
right
Fort
outside,
Hood.
right outside of Killeen.
Yes. A metropolis that was bigger than, no, it was the same size as Glen, Cove, only 2 blocks. And how you went there and somebody says, pick this rifle up. You thought it was an M1, but it wasn't. It was an 03. And when you had to put that up to your shoulder and fire, you lost your shoulder. But that was all right. They found it for you, the shoulder. And the sergeant says, listen, you didn't get that sling tight enough. Is that correct? Oh, that was something with the sling. After all, I was 121 pounds.
121
And the
pounds.
bloomin' old rifle was 10 and a half pounds.
And how long were you in this resort in Texas before they shipped you off?
I was there 4 months. Went from about 75 to 120. Very nice country. 120. Snakes. Good. Made you feel good. Especially if you're a city slicker. The only thing you ever saw was Central Park.
So where did they ship you off to?
Camp Forest, Tennessee. And Camp Forest, Tennessee, you got it. You pull in there, and there was 50. That was the best train ride, by the way, because we had a Pullman. When I went to Texas, we slept 3 together. 2 guys. Oh, you can't see that. But your foot, head to head, head to feet, feet to head, and it was, we all took our shoes off, so that made everything smell. No.
And they whipped you into shape?
Oh, yes. I was in fighting shape, because they even gave me 14 pounds. They fed you, and the other guy that was 250 when he went there got down to 185.
And where did you go with those 14 pounds after that?
Down to Camp Forest, Tennessee, another metropolis.
And then after that?
All out to the desert, back where California. We had a great time on the trains.
All right, and then you went to Europe?
No, came back to Camp Phillips.
Came back to
We
Phillips.
went from the desert to Camp Phillips, Kansas, which is about 25 below in the winter, and we got there in December.
And is there any particular events you'd like to share with our
But I mean,
readers and people who are going
I
to be
tell you,
seeing this?
When I went, then we went to Boston, and that's where we shipped out. And we went on a boat with these guys. This guy that's sleeping over here, that's Seymour, he had a ship. But anyhow, we went on this ship. Well,
It took
where's the
that-
ship man over here?
Took 18 days to go across the ocean
Right. See?
in a convoy.
Yeah.
Let's pick up from there. You are
Nicholas Brutza
Nicholas, so you were shipped off
from Boston.
to
I got into England. And I was in England for about 6 months.
what year is this?
World War II.
1940, 44,
40, yeah.
43, 40, 44?
44. 44. D-Day was June 6th, 44.
June 6th.
And we went from England to France.
Yep.
And we pushed the enemy back, and that broke the war. It ended the war.
Can you recount the day as you remember it?
What do you mean?
The day that you will remember that where you made an impact on the enemy and you pushed the enemy back?
We did that right in France. We were fortunate. What was it? Kaiser built a boat. And that boat, we were fully armed, and it landed right in France. We were all ready for action as soon as we got to France. There was no preparation. We were already prepared for it. And we pushed the enemy back, and it was all over.
How many of you were there that day?
How many?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say. A full battalion or...
Did we suffer many losses that day?
Huh?
Did we suffer many losses that day?
Oh, yeah.
Any of your friends?
I was very fortunate. I saw a shell go over my head about a foot. And we used to have the saying, the one you don't hear has your name on it. Well, I was lucky. It didn't hit me, but I survived.
The ones you can hear, you don't worry about. The ones you don't hear that hit you. The ones
Where were you when he was in France?
I was probably in France too, or someplace over there.
So you are
Who am I?
Yes.
John Postel.
John.
Master
Yeah.
Sergeant John Postel. I said Master Sergeant John Postel,
Yeah.
right?
Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences?
In which war?
You guide me still. In which war?
Which war? World War II?
Let's start there.
I was a young punk kid that thought I could win it all by myself, till I found out that you needed a lot of other men to help you out there
You were born where?
in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. Another almost city guy.
What part of Brooklyn were you born
East Flatbush,
in?
right by Canarsie.
Ah.
There were no people
I went by that street this morning.
Yeah,
And what year were you born?
26.
26. So you were a cocky young kid
Yeah, very cocky young kid from Brooklyn.
until you got the same letter from the U.S. Army.
Yeah,
And that took you where?
and then I was still a young, cocky young kid who thought I was going to win it all by myself.
And then who showed you?
All the rest of the guys that were there that were better.
And how did you rise up the ranks of the Army?
How did I rise up the ranks? Very slowly, up and down, like mountains. Today I was a sergeant, tomorrow I was a private.
Really?
Yeah,
Chutes and ladders, huh?
huh?
Chutes and ladders.
That's right. That's right.